Now look at part 2. Listen to Paul talking to a friend about his family. What does each person do? For questions 6 to 10, write a letter, A to H, next to each person. You will hear the conversation twice.
Tell me about your family, Paul.
Well, you know Sally, my sister, the writer, don't you?
Yes. Is she your only sister?
She is, but I've got 2 brothers. David's older than me and Bill's younger.
How old is Bill?
He's 19. He's studying French in Paris at the moment.
Well, that sounds interesting. And David, what does he do?
Oh, he's a teacher, the same as my mother was, but she finished working last year.
And what about your father?
Oh, he's a doctor at the local hospital.
Ah, of course. I've seen him there.
My mother says he works too hard. She wants him to stop. She wants to go and live on a farm in the country near David.
Are you a doctor too, Paul?
I'm not clever enough. I work in a bank, the one in the high street next to the bookshop.
Do you? So did my sister.
Now listen again.
Tell me about your family, Paul.
Well, you know Sally, my sister, the writer, don't you?
Yes. Is she your only sister?
She is, but I've got 2 brothers. David's older than me and Bill's younger.
How old is Bill?
He's 19. He's studying French in Paris at the moment.
Well, that sounds interesting. And David, what does he do?
Oh, he's a teacher, the same as my mother was, but she finished working last year.
And what about your father?
Oh, he's a doctor at the local hospital.
Ah, of course. I've seen him there.
My mother says he works too hard. She wants him to stop. She wants to go and live on a farm in the country near David.
Are you a doctor too, Paul?
I'm not clever enough. I work in a bank, the one in the high street next to the bookshop.
Do you? So did my sister.
This is the end of part 2.
Between Australia and New Zealand. Over the years, a lot of you fellas have thought I'm from Australia, but I don't sound anything like an Australian. Over the years, a lot of you fellas have thought I'm from Australia, but I don't sound anything like an Australian. So see that was like Australian-ness talk. I'm from New Zealand. Some quick fire facts. Australians are known as Aussies, while us New Zealanders are known as Kiwis. That's because we have here in New Zealand Kiwis. They're like a little bird. In Australia you got like kangaroos. In Australia you throw boomerangs, while here in New Zealand we throw gumboots. Just like that. Yeah, I know at the start of my videos I say g'day, which a lot of people think is just an Australian greeting. But we also say that here in New Zealand. It's like a shared word between the two countries. Things we don't share with Australia are Lord of the Rings, the All Blacks, Taika Waititi, and pavlova, which is a delicious dessert that we definitely don't share with the Australians. But they stole it. They've claimed that, and they've claimed a big long list of other. But we won't. We'll move on from that. Australians wear budgie smugglers to the beach, where here in New Zealand we wear togs. They're just a bit more family friendly, really. Australia's a pretty big place, while New Zealand is quite a small place. Like cool small though, not like haha small. Australians call this a fish when it's clearly a fish. This is a chili bin because it's a bin that keeps things chilled. But in Australia they've called it an esky. Kind of makes no sense, cobber. Chili bin, much better. Australians chuck shrimp on the barbie, while we just throw like sausages or lamb chops, or like a boil up. You could probably do just chuck the pot on, boil it up. This is obviously a jandal, a Japanese sandal, jandal. But in Australia they've got very confused and they've gone ahead and called it a thong. Thong. We don't leave out any letters of our country. We call New Zealand, New Zealand. But Australians, they call Australia just Straya. Oh, back home in Straya. It's a bit weird. Anyway, I could go on forever, but that would be a lap too far. This house is already pretty crowded with all the Australian lingo. So I'm how to dad, and I'm not from Australia. I'm from New Zealand. Between New Zealand and Australia, part 2. I'm from this one, New Zealand. Oh, this one, New Zealand. That's Australia. I'm from there. The biggest difference between Australia and New Zealand is the accent. Here in New Zealand we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. While over in Australia they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They say 6 instead of saying 6. Australia is covered in lots of deadly animals and things. Where here in New Zealand we've just got sheep, lots and lots of sheep. In Australia they love the letters Z and A and they just stick it anywhere. So Sharon would become Shazza, Aaron would become Azza, and Gary would be called Gazza. But here in New Zealand, Sharon, Aaron and Gary, we just call them bro. If you were to make a mistake, us Kiwis would say, oh bugger. Where in Australia they'd say, oh streeth. Oh streeth. Oh streeth. In New Zealand, if you have a mullet and you drink cheap beer, you're known as a bogan. Where in Australia, if you have a mullet and you drink cheap beer, you're also known as a bogan. It's kind of like a shared word between the two countries, bogan. But things we don't share with Australia are Flight of the Conchords, Peter Jackson, Sir Edmund Hillary, Pineapple Lumps, and Crowded House, which is an iconic New Zealand band which Australia stole from us, but as a quick snack, both countries enjoy a hot meat pie. And New Zealand, we make the best ones. That's a fact. And underarm bowlings are illegal. In Australia, they call this a sanger. Oh, chuck us a chicken and avo sanger, mate. We just call it a sandwich. In Australia, it takes about 3 days to drive non-stop from one side to the other. That's 3 days and 16 deadly spider bites. We're here in New Zealand, it only takes 3 hours, but you know, that's 3 hours, 4 sheep crossing the road, traffic jams, and 2 hobbit bites. In New Zealand, when we apply sunscreen, we like make sure it's all rubbed in so you don't have any like white marks left over. Where in Australia, they don't know how to do that for some reason. I don't know why no one's like saying, hey mate, you got a bit of, oh, hey mate, you got a bit of something on your nose there, cobber. In Australia, they like to add the word but at the end of a sentence. So like, oh, it's a pretty hot day, but, which is kind of confusing. But then again, here in New Zealand, we like to add the words yeah, nah to the end of a sentence. So like, yeah, it's a pretty hot day, yeah, nah. The number one sport in Australia is a sport that really only Australia play, which is Aussie rules football. We're here in New Zealand, our number one sport is like a world renowned sport, which we're also the world champions at. It's rugby. Aussie rules, a little bit weird. It's kind of like how America has the baseball World Series, but then it's only played like domestically within America. Maybe the next video is the differences between America and New Zealand. Anyway, that was the differences between Australia and New Zealand, and no Australians or New Zealanders were harmed in the making of this video.